you receive a new form. When you open, put on the television and you watch the news, what they say, you receive information. Information. What is that? It's the action of putting a form in your mind. You know, our language is much more philosophic than people think. We are very influenced by the Greek. And that theory is called isomorphism. Isomorphism. Well, ile in Greek means matter. And morphe, you know that, morphe means form. Morphology. Morphology. Amorph, without form. Without form. So that is the theory I explained just now. I'm explaining the theory of isomorphism. Okay. If you go to page 115. Okay, I explained that. 116, active potency. I give you many definitions, some from Father Wellner, from Father Jolivet, from Father Grenier, some definition. But they say almost the same thing, but not in the same language. So that is a good exercise for you to find in everyone what is, to find all the time matter and form, act and potency, you know. Okay? For example, I go to page 116. Act, act. First, you have 4 definitions of act by Father Wellner. Act is a perfection. I told that to you, a perfection, a determination. Okay? What is fully real, finished, fulfilling actuality. Plenitude is complete. It is complete. It is actual. It is real. It is finished. That is the idea of act. It exists full. Okay? I am a deacon in Act 2. I am a teacher in Act 2. Okay? Secondly, thought of influencing potency in some way. I told you, but the act is a determining, and potency is determinable or determined. One is active, the other active, and the other is passive. Potency comes from possum in Latin, possum, and infinitive potere, possum, potens, what is omnipotent, potens, powerful, able to do something. That's the word possum, I can do something, possum, I can do something. It is possible, possible, possum. So possible, potency, the same thing as possible. Well, I will teach you in a few weeks a difference. There is a nuance, but not tonight. Okay. 3, the perfection. 4, activity, operation. Another dimension of act. For example, you have the power to talk. When you don't talk, you are in potency to talk. And when you talk, you are in Act 2 to talk. In fact, when we study all the operation of the human person, we have a subject, I, we have a verb, an object, and we have between an act. For example, my eye see orange. So my eye sees, see orange. Act. So act is also a capacity. My eye is a power. My eyes are in potency to see. For example, you are in class here, but your eyes are in potency to see what is in the refectory in half an hour. or your eyes have potency to see your dog when you come home, etc. So we see, when we speak about our faculty, what we say, they are powers. Powers or faculties or capacities or potency. Power means potency. In English, power. In Latin, potens. Potency is the same meaning. Power. Electricity, bon, you put out electricity. The electricity is in power to do something. You put on, it acting. We pass from potency to act. Okay? And that is a chain. From darkness to light. From non-life to life. When you study, for example, in philosophy of man, especially with the other class, when can we imagine as a philosopher life begins? Because there was no life and there was life, you know. Life began instantly, instantly. When we cannot say that directly, but we can say when there is a power in the first cell without any external power to multiply, to divide, we can say there is life. Because we see activity through the effects. We see how we can see that I see, that my eyes have the power to see. I can know that when I see, no? My sister-in-law, unfortunately, recently lost her sight. She's not able to exercise her power. She cannot see. She cannot pass from potency to act. So we can say she has no power of seeing. Because the power is not always exerted. You don't use your power continually. When you sleep, your eyes are closed, I hope. And when you wake up, you have the power to see. Your eyes as a power, they are in potency. And when you see something, they are in action, act. The word act means operation also. The word act has many meanings. For example, you take a decision. Before taking the decision, you were in potency to take the decision. Now you say, yes, it is an act. And those are among you, they are married. And before the mass of your marriage, your wedding, mass, you were in potency to become Mrs. Mrs. Naples. And when you say, I do, you pass from potency to act. You were in potency, and the action of saying a decision, I will. And those who are ordained a priest, when the bishop take your hands and he say, promise to me and to my successor obedience, and when you say, I promise, you pass from potency to act. And you belong to the diocese or you belong to the congregation. Okay? So, in metaphysics, act is defined, the being achieved in its order, complete in its order. By opposition to potency, ends in potentia, ends in potency. Okay? No, you know, not why the matter is in potency, because it is not determined completely. So, potency, actuality means also perfection, plenitude. It's complete. If you cook a pie and the pie is well cooked, you don't cook no more, it's just cooked. It's actualized, it's a real pie. It's not flour, it is not pie. Okay? Page 117. So at the top, a being in potency, it is a being in some way not actual, not fully actual, a possible being, changeable being, a being in potency for the principle which receives change from another. Of course, I did not speak about the cause, because I cannot pass from potency to act without some cause, but a step at a time. The potency, not only, be careful, potency not only to act, mais aussi potency to receive. Potency of action potency of passion. Remember the 9 categories: action and passion. Potency of action, potency of passion, potency of relation. When you marry, you have a new relation with your mother-in-law. No? Except if she is with the Lord. Even there, you have a relation with her. Okay, that means in fact, what allows us to pass from potency to act, it is the 9 categories. Because we can have a change in quantity, a change in quality, a change in relation, a change in action, a change in passion, a change in position, a change in possession, a change in one, in time, and place. In fact, all that is, if we want to explain change, we have to accept that beings are made with a substance which does change, and accident, they are the, if you want to explain what is changing, they are the categories, the 9 critical. In some time also, the substance can change. For example, you have a cat, your cat is living, you arrive the other day, the day after, your cat is dead. There is a change we call substantial change of substance. And when we study theology, we have that also, transubstantiation, change of substance. It is change of substance. But that is not philosophy, that is faith and theology. Okay? I go to matter. Now we spoke about act, perfection. Matter, well, 4 meaning here from Father Fulmer. First, being of substance in bodies, possessing such characteristic of accident as quantity, extension, etc. That means matter, it is what is quantified, what is possessing quality, etc. Okay? Bodily substance distinct from the spirit, the body. Is this true for man? It is true also for animals. Animals don't have a spirit, but they have a soul. They have a soul, they have a principle of activity. Your cat has a principle of activity. He cannot move without a form. In that form of a living, we call that a soul. But it's not an immortal soul. Some philosophers, we saw that in the future, they call that also anteliki. The principle of life. The principle of life. I will explain that. Okay, 3, that is important. 3, the material cause, matter, is the material cause or passive subjective potency. Passive subjective potency. Why subjective? Because it is the subject. I am the subject. In my subject, I have a potency which is my body. My matter, my body. Passive subjective potency, matter. As distinct from form. So the form is my formal form, my formal cause, and my body, my material cause. When we study that in logic, the 4 causes, you remember? The 4 causes. As distinct, an intrinsic capacity for perfection. The body or the matter in everything is an intrinsic principle of the perfection. That means it can receive perfection. Matter is not complete by itself. Matter is complete by another. We call the form. The form is determining the matter. Well, I give an example on our body. You know, according to the scientists, I believe in the science, you know. I trust them. They say every 7 years your cells change completely. Well, we have about 3 trillion cells in our body. So every 7 years those cells is the reason why we eat. Constantly we change, we renew ourselves. Are you the same? For me, it's my 11th body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I am the same. Why? Because my cells here are determined by my form. It is true. Suppose you burn you destroy your flesh here, and you have to have a new, they put skin graft here. It's you. I have in my eyes the dead part of the dead cornea of a dead person. Not the dead, the cornea of a dead person. Here. It's no more that, it is mine now. What makes that mine? A heart. Your heart is not good. Okay, I take mine and give it to you. And you continue to live. Why is it possible that a man live with the heart of another who is dead? It is because of the heart itself. Because of the form. The form is the principle of activity. The form is the principle of determination. The form is the principle of perfection. So I am not myself only by my body, I am myself by my form. My body changed, but my form is the same. Continue to identify myself. I have a friend, he spent 3 weeks, I met him last week, he spent 3 weeks in the coma, 3 weeks. When he woke up, he was himself. Is it because of his body? No, because of his form. Form is permanent and it changes. So, the matter is a principle of indetermination. And a proof of that. What do you eat at noon as meat? You eat meat, you eat beef or steak or pork. No? What do you eat? You eat a pork, a pig. You eat a cow. And the cow is no more a cow, is you now. The cells of the cow are no more the cells of the cow, they are your cells. What makes that mother from outside becoming your mother is not your mother, it is your form. So your form can inform, that means give life, give determination to your mother. You receive the blood of another person. It is your blood now. Why? Because of the form. If there is, can I do that with a dead body? I cannot do that with a dead body. Because there is no form. A dead body is trillions of form. Is accidentally one, but in a few centuries there will be nothing. Huh? Okay. So matter, we distinguish between prime matter, as I explained that here already, and second matter. If you go to the bottom of the page, second matter. It is informed matter, matter being informed. That means matter having received a form. Or if you want, matter having received an act, actualized. A sensible body completely constituted as a particular system, that is our body, by union of prime matter and substantial form. Matter already actuated with this physical characteristic in nature, therefore knowable by the senses. So a second matter is a body as being able to receive accidental determination. For example, that is in general, marble can be received, the form of David, the form of Moses, the form of Jesus, the form of Mary, etc. Okay? Father Paul's thoughts will make the statues. He put his idea into the bronze. He put the form into the matter. That is art. What is art? Is that? Art is put the form into material reality to make that beautiful. I continue. Oh, time passes so fast. Substratum, a form, I already explained that. Substantial form, accidental form. Well, substantial form, the intrinsic, incomplete constituent principle in substance. That means, for example, let us take care of a body. My body, my soul or my form is substantial. That means make one substance with my body. They are co-principle of one reality. My body is not a substance here, and my soul a substance there. No, they are one. Even if Mr. Descartes does not agree with that. We have many proofs to prove that we are one. When we study language, when we study emotion, all that prove that we are one. Okay? Accidental form, but it is a secondary. For example, you become red, or you become white, or you smile, etc. All those qualities put into the substance of you. I am a golfer, but when I was 10 years old, I was not a golfer, so that is accidental. Huh? That is accidental. Privation, I already spoke about that. Privation. Okay, so I think it is lawful and very dignious with still Latin is very just and true and worthy that you take a rest. Jim? Please, thank you. Okay, do you want your result?